White rhino extinction avoidable through embryo transfer. White rhino extinction has reached the point where there are only two of the animals left on Earth. Find out how a team of veterinarians and conservationists has found a way to rescue this species using in vitro fertilization and embryo transfer. A lot of animals I grew up with are disappearing today. They include the Massasauga rattlesnake, the gray fox, the sunfish, the barn swallow, the red-headed woodpecker, and even the simple bumblebee. It's part of a larger global trend toward vanishing species that scientists are calling the sixth mass extinction. We're experiencing a major decline in Earth's biodiversity. The causes of this so-called Anthropocene extinction are habitat destruction, climate change, pollution, and resource extraction. These, of course, are all human activities. People used to think that species extinction was impossible. The disappearance of the dodo and the near extinction of the American bison demonstrated that the possibility was all too real. Naturalists started organizing conservation movements, and governments established the first nature preserves and national parks. The modern environmental movement gradually arose, but the global mass extinction is still accelerating. One of the world's most endangered species is Africa's northern white rhino. There are only two northern white rhinos left on Earth, a mother named Najin and her daughter Fatu. Dr. Thomas Hildebrandt studied veterinary medicine at Humboldt University in Berlin. He then earned a doctorate from Berlin's Frey University, and he's been certified as a zoo, wildlife, and game veterinarian for the past 2 decades. Working with the International Conservation Consortium BioRescue, Dr. Hildebrandt has become one of the world's pioneers of assisted reproduction in large mammals like elephants, big cats, pandas, and rhinos. This week, BioRescue announced the results of an experiment of which Dr. Hildebrandt was the project head. The team achieved the first pregnancy in a rhinoceros from an embryo transfer. They produced a white rhino embryo using in vitro fertilization from collected egg and sperm cells. They transferred the embryo into a surrogate mother, a southern white rhino, at the Old Pagetal Conservancy in Kenya on September 24, 2023. 70 days later, the team was able to confirm a viable pregnancy involving a 6.4 centimeter male fetus. The biological father is Athos, a male southern white rhino from the Zoo Salzburg in Hellbrunn, Austria. The in vitro fertilization took place at the Avantea laboratories in Cremona, Italy. The BioRescue staff transferred 2 embryos into Kura, the surrogate mother in Kenya. In vitro fertilization has become very common in domestic animals like cattle, but has never been attempted in rhinos until now. The embryo transfer technique is well established for humans and for domesticated animals such as horses or cows, Dr. Hildebrandt explained, but for rhinos, it has been completely uncharted territory. Sadly, when the BioRescue team went to conduct a pregnancy check on Kura in Kenya, they found she had died on November 25th. Heavy rains had flooded her surrogate enclosure, releasing Clostridial bacteria spores. Kura had developed a fatal systemic infection. Suddenly, the BioRescue team became a crisis management team. BioRescue promptly implemented protection measures for all other semi-captive rhinos, including Najin and Fatu, the last surviving northern white rhinos. They vaccinated all the rhinos, set up a quarantine, and built new emergency enclosure fencing. The consolation for the team was that Kura's autopsy also revealed she was carrying an otherwise viable 70-day-old fetus. Further analysis of the fetus tissue confirmed that the pregnancy definitely came from the embryo transfer. It is bitter that this milestone is confirmed under such tragic circumstances, with the death of the surrogate Kura and her unborn calf, Dr. Hildebrandt said. But I am certain that this proof of concept is a turn of the tide for the survival of the northern white rhino and the health of Central African ecosystems. Along with the only 2 living female northern white rhinos, scientists have carefully preserved living cells from 12 other specimens using liquid nitrogen. Starting in 2019, BioRescue has produced and conserved 30 northern white rhino embryos in vitro in Berlin and Cremona. Now the plan is to transfer those embryos into southern white rhino surrogate mothers. Having demonstrated that embryo transfers in rhinos are safe, effective, and ethical, BioRescue is in a position to attempt the first pregnancy using the northern white rhino embryos over the next few months. Projects like BioRescue's embryo transfer are part of the transition humanity needs from the current Anthropocene era, with its mass extinctions and natural resource exploitation. We need to move into a new era that many are coming to call the Ecozine, in which humanity learns to heal and harmonize with our planet's delicate ecosphere. We want the offspring to live together with Najin and Fatu for years, to learn the social behavior of its kind, Dr. Hildebrandt concluded. We are in a rush to bring a northern white rhino baby to the ground. With this proof of concept, it can become a reality in 2 to 3 years. We always have more to learn if we dare to know.